aka Best Bail Bonds. Big game coverage live from Las Vegas. Powered by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, Synergenics, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
1. Welcome back to the Morning Huddle here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. RJ Ochoa here in Las Vegas on Radio Row, and through the magic of all technology, I'm talking to one of my very favorite players in the world, in the NFL specifically, coming from one of my favorite universities. It is Jordan Addison. Jordan, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
No problem. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm a little bit tired, if I'm being honest. I've got a great job. I've got no complaints. You know, a bad day here is better than, the best day in most places. I would imagine that's true for you as an NFL player. Is that so?
That's so. You got to keep chasing, though. Keep chasing.
That's true. Something I was so curious about, the moment you were drafted, the weather difference. It's got to be dramatic. Like, you can be honest with me. Like, it's got to be insane to go from, LA to Minnesota.
All right, look, it is dramatic, but I'm from Maryland, though, so I've been in the cold. Yeah, so it wasn't nothing to me.
So you were asking.
And I knew we played in the dome. I knew we played in the dome, too.
They're smart. Like, I love the Bills, but get out of here with this, like, we want an open stadium thing. Like, nobody likes it. It's ridiculous to me. But so a few years ago, you were asking about Radio Row and kind of the magic and craziness of this. When the Super Bowl was in Minnesota, you were just a young kid at the time. They put us in the Mall of America in the food court. It was crazy. And it was very different than this, a lot more hectic. And every time I went out to eat in Minnesota, people would ask if I'd had a Juicy Lucy. So you've been there almost a year. I imagine you've had one at some point.
No, I ain't had one of those.
Do you know what it is? Because if not, I'm excited to tell you.
It's a burger. I just know it's a burger, right?
Well, it's a burger, but they wrap the ground beef or whatever around cheese. So it's got cheese in it. But so when you eat it, you kind of have to cut it in half and let it cool because the cheese is like liquid magma. How have you not had one? You've been there for like a year, like I said.
Yeah, I ain't too much into that. What, you got to cut your burger to eat it?
Well, if not, you're going to burn your tongue. I'm just look. You're going to be there a long time.
You had one?
All right. I had one when I was there, but I'm looking out for you because I want you to be a star in the NFL forever, like you've already been. And I don't want you to burn your tongue. So when you get one served to you, cut it in half and let it cool. I promise you'll thank me later. What was your rookie season like? It was so unique, and obviously the injuries and everyone was so excited to see you paired with JJ, but then he was hurt, and then you thrived. I mean, what was the whole roller coaster like that finally is in the rearview mirror for you?
Yeah, it was just up and down. Like looking back on it now, I could say it was a wild ride. But when we was in it, even though everybody was hurt, like we was all still in there. Everybody was still in the meet. Everybody was still out at practice. So it was still like everybody was with us, but they just wasn't there on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So it was tough. It was tough. Playing with a lot of different QBs. It was tough, but I enjoyed the experience, and I wouldn't want it any different.
Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison with us here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I would, throughout the season, things change, and I cover the Dallas Cowboys, so you can imagine what that's like. But a take I had was that KOC was not getting enough love for what y'all were doing. I mean, amid the injuries, and to your point, the fact that everybody was so in it and disciplined and ready and fighting. I mean, Kevin O'Connell is one of the best coaches in the NFL.
Yeah, I love KOC, but he gonna get the credit. He gonna get it. He gonna get it when it's his time. But I see what you're seeing, but it's gonna come. It's gonna come for everybody else to see it.
I like that confidence. There was a real quiet confidence about the Vikings, obviously, as everything kind of happened and everybody fell in love with the Josh Dobbs story. And even Kirk, who I know you didn't play with a lot and haven't played with a lot yet, but it felt like, I'm sure you were aware of Kirk and, what the internet says about him before you were drafted. It felt like he became more likable across the season, even after he got hurt. Was that your sense as far as the outside world?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know people who always liked him. So just being from that area when he was in Washington.
Right.
So I don't really know what the media was saying before, but after me playing with him, I think like he liked that to me.
Yeah, I mean,
top QB.
So I interviewed him at a Super Bowl a few years ago. He was still in Washington at the time. And so our show was in San Antonio, and I got a lot of crap for this from my coworkers. I forgot to ask him something. Do you happen to know who his favorite NBA team is?
His favorite NBA team? Who his favorite NBA team?
He's a Spurs fan. You don't see that happen a lot. And so,
but
I wasn't
going to guess.
you think about old school Spurs, a beautiful game. I mean, it's kind of easy for people to love. Who do you like? I mean, who like what are other sports? Because now you got a little bit of time. What are other sports you enjoy when you're not obviously training?
I watch a little bit of basketball. I don't got no team though. I just like players.
What
I
do you like?
like
Who are you
KD
guys?
and James Harden. KD and James Harden.
So what about Wemby?
Oh, he's straight.
He's
Actually, he been hooping. He been hooping. He been hooping.
yeah,
When we
we're
has been hooping, but I like KD and Harden.
well, Wemby's like the new KD, and so that's really cool. And
Man,
we're well, look,
when we
new
that
to see.
good?
He's gonna be, dude. He's gonna be. If you play fantasy basketball or anything like that, you want a piece of Wemby. Trust me, he's the real deal.
I might gotta
Look,
watch.
look at me, Jordan. I'm giving you all sorts of advice. I'm telling you to pick up stock in Wemby. I'm telling you how to eat a juicy Lucy. I'm here to look out for you. And so you're here to look out really for everyone
So
on
what you
behalf
rate
of.
your Juicy Lucy?
Well, I'm
What you
sorry.
rate your Juicy Lucy?
You
What you
know,
rated Juicy Lucy?
that's a great question. I would say it's a good 8 out of 10. It's overwhelming, you know what I mean? Because it's a lot of cheese. And you can't really use ketchup or anything like that. But it's
All right, yeah, I don't really eat cheese for real.
yeah. So if you're not a cheese person, you're not gonna like it. But it's an experience worth having. You go to Italy, you got to have a whole pizza, slice of pie. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things. And you're
Pizza
a
a little bit
Minnesotan,
different.
exactly.
Pizza a little bit.
So I was saying that you need to look out for me because I'm looking out for you, and you're really looking out for everyone though with Sleep Number. Now I have something I want to show you in a minute. The radio audience can't see it, but my first question is, what is your Sleep Number? Your exact one.
45.
So we
My
talked to
exact
Tony.
sleep number 45.
We talked to Tony
Perfect.
Pollard, and he's a 75. So what's going on with Tony? Why is it so different here? What's happening?
I don't know his preference. It's all about your preference. That's why you got to get you a sleep number bed and just lay on it and then have them adjust it. But I like 45 because it's not too firm, not too soft. It's just perfect.
So I'm cool with you. I'm cool with this idea of a 45. But Jordan, again, I'm giving you lots of advice. Tony not only told me a sleep number, he gave me a sleep number pillow. Look at this. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
never gonna sleep uncomfortably for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I mean, they partner with Crucial Catch. If I would have gave you one, you would have been getting another one for free though. So for me, you would have had two.
You know what? I'll hit you up on Instagram. We'll figure it out. It'll all be good.
Tap in.
What's it? So you grew up in a really interesting time in college football. Obviously, everybody's heard your NIL story. Everybody saw USC. Everybody's really excited to see Caleb this year. Obviously, it'll be super fun if he's in Chicago with the division rivalry and things like that. I'm sure y'all have maybe joked about that, whatever. But additionally, you've grown up in an era where, like I mentioned, fantasy is like a really common thing for you, I'm sure, playing your whole life. And you stormed onto the scene this season. And I'm sure you've heard from Vikings fans or whoever, maybe Trojans fans, that you won them their fantasy league. Like, was that really weird to adjust to, in terms of being a part of people's lives in that way?
I mean, I still really don't even know too much about fantasy. I don't even know I don't know how it works.
It's
I
yeah,
don't,
I'll save you the details. The better you do, the better we do. You know what I mean? We're rooting for catches, we're rooting for yards, we're rooting for touchdowns. That's why when you guys played the Niners on Monday Night Football, that super awesome game, I was brave. I started Jordan Addison. I won my
yeah,
match.
and I seen on the TV. I think I seen on the TV it said cut him. It said bench him. I seen my name on there. I said, oh yeah, all right.
Well, look, I mean, nothing
So
against you.
Hey, you smart. You smart for
I
doing
know.
that.
Well, I trusted you. I knew, obviously, but the way it
I seen
works
that
is
on the TV in the locker room though.
people say,
Crazy.
"Oh, they're playing the Niners," and look where the Niners are. Obviously, this week of all weeks. So yeah, people get a little bit spooked, but they haven't seen Jordan Addison. I knew the truth.
You knew the truth.
Yeah,
So where was I? So where was I before USC?
Pitt. Duh. I mean, and plus Maryland. I mean, you've been all over. You've lived a lot of places. There's a lot of places this sleep number bed has been. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah, sleep.
that being said, how do you like life in Minnesota besides the cold? I mean, it's a really beautiful part of the country.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a diamond in the rough. Minnesota is, you just got to be here to experience it. I can't really explain it. Y'all just come to Minnesota and get a sleep number bed, chill, rest, recover, wake up, and y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see.
Last two ones for you, Jordan. I mentioned Caleb. And I'm sure, again, you've been asked about this, maybe not even by media, but by family or friends or just whatever, just kind of, shooting text messages back and forth. How excited are you to watch him in the NFL? Because obviously he's got a lot of hype around him.
Yeah, we all. I mean, these stories that we always been, already been talking about in the locker room in the facility. So we already know where we at with it. I'm just waiting for his name to get called.
That's really well said. You're really good at this professional thing already, Jordan, even though it's been a year, but you're a seasoned veteran. Last one. The story of the 2024 Minnesota Vikings is what?
Super Bowl champions.
Man, Jordan, I was already in, man, but you wrote me. I got the sleep number pillow. I'm team sleep number. I'm team Vikings. I'm team Jordan Addison. Get the Juicy Lucy. Be very careful. Trust me. Again, I'm looking out for you. Thanks so much for joining us here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on behalf of Sleep Number. Be well. Stay healthy. Enjoy the off season. Finally, take a chance to breathe a little bit. I know last year coming to the NFL is a big deal, but wish you all the best and rooting for you always.
Thank you. Hey, RJ. If you want to catch one-hand passes like JJ, get a Sleep Number bed. Tell him.
AA Best Bail Bonds. Big game coverage live from Las Vegas. Powered by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, Synergenics, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.